So you wake up in the morning and you're feeling pretty good. You go to your mirror and you do a quick physique check to see how your body's looking. Your abs are looking nice and chiseled and the rest of your body is all in shape. Throughout the rest of the day, you decide to perform some more quick physique checks in the mirror. Or maybe let's say you go to the gym and you're checking out your pump. But you can't help but notice your midsection looks puffy from the point that you've put the first piece of food into your mouth. And you're wondering why. And in this video, I'm going to break that down. Let me introduce you to Fodmaps. Fodmaps are a type of carbohydrate, specifically fibers and short-chain sugars. The thing about Fodmaps is they are poorly digested by the human digestive system. The small intestine lacks the necessary mechanisms needed to efficiently break down Fodmaps, and so they are left to ferment in the large intestine, where they cause significant digestive issues. Within the FODMAP food group, there are 4 subcategories, with FODMAP being an abbreviation for fermentable oligosaccharides, disaccharides, monosaccharides, and polyols, and we'll break down each of these subcategories. Firstly, we have our oligosaccharides, which can be split up into 2 subgroups, fructans and galactans. The largest culprits of oligosaccharides are wheat, beans, and lentils because of the sheer volume of these foods that you consume, meaning that these oligosaccharides will accumulate and you'll be consuming a high quantity of these oligosaccharides through these foods. They can also be found in garlic and onions, but in much smaller quantities as you consume less of these foods when you use them, so they're not such an issue with these foods. So with regards to oligosaccharides, humans don't even have the necessary enzymes needed to speed up their absorption. So they remain mainly intact and are not broken down at all until they reach the large intestine, which is at the end of the digestive system. So next we have our disaccharides. And disaccharides are actually just lactose. And so some people are able to actually eat lactose, eat cheese, drink milk, and eat butter, because they produce lactase enzymes naturally within their gut. But some people who are lactose intolerant, like me, are unable to produce the lactase enzyme, and this results in the lactose not being broken down and left to ferment in the gut. Next, we have our monosaccharides, which is actually just fructose. And fructose can be found in fruits, essentially. And they're not actually such a big issue because the body actually has the necessary transport systems which is needed to break down and absorb fructose. But it becomes a big issue when you consume fructose in excess of glucose, because fructose is able to use the same mechanism which glucose uses to be absorbed in the small intestine. But without the presence of glucose, this cannot occur. And so the absorption of fructose is limited. And the common source of consuming excess fructose is high fructose corn syrup, which is snuck into a lot of sugary snacks and ingredients in the modern day. And fructose specifically is quite dangerous as it can cause a wide range of health complications, ranging from type 2 diabetes to fatty liver disease. And this is specifically concerning considering the sheer volume of fructose which is snuck into manufactured products such as cereals, baked goods, condiments, and all types of desserts and sugary snacks. So it's really important here to prioritize whole foods rather than manufactured foods which could contain compounds like this. And lastly, we have our polyols. And polyols are sugar alcohols. And so you'll mainly find them in sugar-free goods and health goods as well, because they're almost as sweet as sugar, but with a significantly reduced number of calories. And so you'll find them mainly in like sugar-free snacks and sugar-free desserts, diet soda like Diet Coca-Cola or Diet Fanta, and even sugar-free gum. And just like our oligosaccharides and disaccharides, humans don't have the necessary mechanisms to break them down, the enzymes or the transport system. And so they are only left to be absorbed through a passive diffusion process, which is extremely slow, meaning majority, if not all, of the polyols that you eat will remain intact until they reach the large intestine. And the overall effect of all of these FODMAPs reaching your large intestine relatively intact, whereas they should have been broken down and absorbed in the small intestine, is that firstly, due to the long time they spend in the intestine, they cause osmosis to occur. And this draws water into your gut and causes your intestinal walls to stretch, which can cause a lot of discomfort, and the extra water causes diarrhea. And since these FODMAPs are still undigested, in the large intestine, the colony of trillions of gut bacteria feast on these FODMAPs and use them as fuel. And this produces gases like hydrogen, methane, and carbon dioxide. And this is what causes the abdominal symptoms that you experience, such as puffiness due to the increased gas in your gut, and all types of bloating and discomfort as the gases move around in your gut. And so the quick fix here is to focus on mainly eating whole foods. And this is always the first point of action and the best solution to your gut issues. Unprocessed meats contain only proteins and fats. They don't contain carbohydrates. And so if you're experiencing gut issues from eating excess FODMAPs, mainly focus on eating meats, as it's impossible for them to contain FODMAPs as they contain zero carbohydrates. Only then you can gradually increase the number of carbohydrates within your diet, mainly focusing on vegetables and other whole carbohydrates, trying to avoid some of these FODMAP compounds. And obviously, if you're lactose intolerant, avoid eating dairy or opt for lactose-free options which have the lactase enzyme added to these foods. And if you'd like more information regarding gut health and overall nutrition, check out the other videos on my channel and click the top link in the description to join my mailing list, where I regularly dive deeper into the core concepts regarding gut health, diet, nutrition, and exercise. Take care.